So over on this channel, there's no hiding it, I am a Space Marine simp, and in today's video, I want to talk more about Space Marines. I want to go over firstly all of the rumors surrounding Space Marines, because there's so many rumors at the moment with refreshes, Space Wolves, Grey Knights, everything in between, like apparently new speeders, the fast attack things, and I also want to look forward to the future as well. Like, what else do Space Marines now really need to flesh their range out? Now, before we go into this, because I know there's going to be people in the comment section saying this, I am not saying that we should get this right away. I'm not saying that this should be next. There's so many armies out there that need love. Jakara, Leagues of Votann, you can argue with, right? I'm not saying Space Marines need this now, but as a Space Marine fan, I'm just looking forward to the future, what I would like to potentially see added to the range. So let's jump in and let's get waffling. Now, since this video will contain rumors, let me always say what I say about rumors, and that is, rumors are lies. If you want to believe them, that is entirely up to you. Don't take them as fact, take them for what they are: rumors. So I quickly just want to go over the rumors that we've gone through already over this channel. I want to start with the character rumors. So apparently there's a bunch of new first founding characters that are supposed to be getting new models. Vulcan Hestan is supposed to be getting a brand new one for the Salamanders. Lysander is supposed to be getting a new one for the Imperial Fist. Raven Guard are getting someone which I theorize as Sharokin. Again, I've done a whole foil video dedicated to that if you want to go and check it out. The Iron Hands are supposed to be getting a brand new character who is in Terminator armor. I don't know who that could be. And the White Scars are supposed to be getting a brand new jet bike character, which sounds absolutely fantastic. Heard nothing for the Ultramarines, but Theory mode, Theory hat on, I would love it to be Chaos Icarius. I think he deserves a new model, and yeah, I want to see him all decked up and looking fabulous in a new sculpt. So hopefully that will turn out to be true, if it does turn out to be true. Anyway, in terms of other stuff that we've spoken about on this channel before, I call it fast attack. I know a lot of people say, well, Valrak, they're veterans on the tabletop, but when I talk fast attack, I just mean, like, you know, fast units. So I've heard about multi-part Outriders. They're supposed to be happening at some point. I've heard rumors about a new land speeder variant, and I theorize that it probably is going to be like a scout variant now that we have new scout troops and stuff. That would make a lot of sense. New Vanguard veterans have also been rumored around, you know, the whispers of the war, which all makes sense because these are the things that the range has been lacking for new models, and you know, it looks like that's the direction that Games Workshop want to be going in. The fast attack speeders, Vanguard veterans, multi-part Outriders. Maybe we'll get like Outrider HQs if I put my Theory hat on again, like a captain on a bike, a librarian on a bike, an apothecary on a bike, right? We had these before, and I think if you actually do bring that to the table, then what that opens up is stuff like Ravenwing potentially getting a refresh. I actually do think Ravenwing is going to get a refresh sometime next year, probably with the start of 11th edition. There's supposed to be a new drop pod that's coming out as well. I know a lot of people watched a tabletop tactics video, and they were asking me about a Night Lord drop pod because it's in this Natman Gauntlet book that's just come out from Games Workshop. That would be cool. I think that would be amazing. I've heard nothing in terms of Chaos drop pods, but I have heard of a Space Marine drop pod. Maybe it's a multi-part kit. I have absolutely no idea, but I've heard there is supposed to be a brand new drop pod coming out for Space Marines. And the big one, which I get asked all the time, which we've spoken about, is Assault Terminators. Apparently, they are on the horizon as well. Where is this horizon? Hopefully by the end of this year. If not, then maybe 2026. But I've heard they are definitely coming, and it's something that I'm looking forward to because, as I've mentioned before, I want Lysander, and I want to make my first company of Imperial Fist. That is something I want to do. But at the moment, with the current setup that we have for Terminators, they're all ranged Terminators, and I want my Thunder Hammers. I want like shields and lightning claws and all the cool stuff that you get with, you know, close combat Terminators. So fingers crossed that'll be coming very soon as well. And also, of course, it's the mixed armor mark rumor, which a lot of people have been talking about. We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago on my channel when I've heard that rumor, and I really don't know how that's going to play out. Is it going to be like you have like a Mark 8 errant armor on like a Primaris guy as like a cool looking veteran piece? Is it going to be like what they did with like the Stern Guard, where you get like different helmets now attached to like the normal intercessor kits? No idea, right? All I've heard about in the Whispers of the Warp is that apparently mixed armor in certain squads and stuff. What squads those are, your guess is as good as mine. at this point. But it's sounding, well, it's not looking, it's sounding very, very fun at this moment in time, and that means we're getting brand new sculpts and brand new cool things to make the Space Marines look cooler. Then I'm for it, because for me, it's all about the rule of cool. I don't care how they play on the tabletop. I just want cool little models I can put in my display cabinet and just stare at like they're in a zoo. And the next bit of this video is what is yet to come for the Space Marines during this edition. So far we have 3, potentially 4 big things happening with Space Marines. We have the Black Templars, we have the Grey Knights, and we have the Space Wolves, and we also have this Salamander image, which I'll put in the background when we get to it, and we're going to talk a little bit about that because there's so much conversation around this. But I just want to focus on the armies that we know are going to be getting something this edition first. So with the Space Wolves, again, I've done multiple Space Wolves videos on this channel. Apparently a new Logan Grimnar, Nidge the Stormcaller, Arjak Rockfist. There's going to be new Space Wolf Terminators, a brand new like elite unit for the Space Wolves. There's just so much happening with the Space Wolves. Hopefully that all happens before the end of this year. I do predict, personally, that I think it's going to happen all around the summertime. So hopefully that does pan off. Grey Knight is another big one. I don't think we're going to get the big Grey Knight refresh this edition. There is 2 things I've heard about Grey Knights. One is a potential kill team, which could add a bunch of new stuff via kill team. I don't know what infantry they could add to that. Again, you tell me in the comment section which would be the perfect Grey Knight kill team. And I've heard of a vehicle rumor as well, and that vehicle rumor is apparently like an upgrade kit for the Grey Knight baby carrier. So I don't expect a full refresh. I think 11th edition is going to be the Grey Knight edition. So, you know, a year and a half from now, once we get that announcement, or when that edition does come out, I think that's when we're going to start seeing some really, really cool Grey Knight things. You know, more characters being added, maybe a brand new Caldor Drago, etc., etc. I can see all that panning out. The big one for me, because I'm a Son of Dawn as well, is the Black Templars. We've talked about this multiple times on stream. Like, what could they get? No memes aside, it potentially could be a Black Templar Ancient. You know, they could go down that route. It could be a multi-part Castellan, or it could be like a Marshal in Terminator armor, because we know a lot of characters are getting redone in Terminator armor, and Black Templars don't have any Terminator characters or HQ at all. So maybe they've got to go in that direction. It's going to be exciting time to see what they do for Black Templars. I think that is one of the biggest things that are going to raise my eyebrows the most. Like, what are they going to get for that range? Because the Black Templar stuff sells well. I've got Black Templar armor. I'm sure there's a massive fandom for Black Templars. So whatever they put out, people are going to be grasping by the straws, and hopefully it goes in the direction that we all want it to go in. Now, the big Salamander image, because this has been the non-stop talking point now. What in the Emperor's name is this Salamander image? I've done previous videos about this before when it dropped, and we've been talking about it. A lot of people think that it's going to be Codex Salamanders. I don't think it's going to be Codex Salamanders. I don't think they're going to go and do that, what they did in 8th edition, where we got Codex Imperial Fist, Codex White Scars, Codex Salamanders. Hopefully I'm wrong, right? I want to be wrong. I would love that, because that means I get more fluff for my Imperial Fist, more lore for the Salamanders, the White Scars, and all that amazing things. But if you do that, then I'm sure there's going to be a lot of complaints from people who have like armies like Drakara and Leagues of Votann saying, wait, Space Marines get their own individual supplements again, and we're struggling to get, you know, just our own codex. So we'll have to see what that happens. I personally think it's going to be something like a campaign book. I don't know what that campaign book is. I personally believe, though, the Salamander image is not going to be about salamanders. I think salamanders are going to be in the book, but it's not all going to be about salamanders. I think it's probably going to be multiple chapters taking part, and this is potentially where we're going to start seeing, like, the Lysanders, the Vulcan Hestan Forgefather models coming into it. I think it's just going to be one big campaign series kicking off potentially the end of the series of 10th edition, moving on to 11th edition. That's what I foresee for now. It could be completely right, I could be completely wrong, but that's just my personal opinion. That's my personal take on it. But it is exciting to see what happens now with the Space Marine stuff during 10th edition. And this brings us to the next bit of the video, is like, what's next for Space Marines? Again, you could probably argue that the first bit of this video is kind of like the last part of this video of like, well, we haven't really got Vanguard veterans yet, Valrak. Yeah, but the rumors are there and stuff like that. So I think that is going to be happening personally. What I'm looking at this as is like, what is not rumoured, and what would you like to have, Valrak, in the Space Marine range? Well, since I love tanks, I want to start with that, and I've got all the variants of the Space Marine tanks, but one tank that I am missing, well, I say a new variant of tank that we're missing, we've had like the Repulsor Executioner, the Impulsor, the Astraeus tank, but we haven't had an artillery variant of a new tank yet. So maybe that is a direction they're going to be going in. I would argue, and again, I'm not saying I want to replace the Land Raider or anything. I would like Games Workshop to make a new mold of the Land Raider kit so it goes together better. For people who bought into the Horus Heresy and got the Spartan Assault tank in plastic, it was such a breeze to put that together compared to the resin version. And I think if they do make the Land Raider kit, all they have to do is just remold it, redesign it, so it just goes together a little bit better. Because at the moment, when you do put it together, I do feel like there's a lot of gaps present on that kit. Yes, you can fix that with a lot of, tender loving care, but it's out there to redo that kit. I'm not saying make it hover or change the look of it or anything like that. I'm just saying redesign the actual sprue, the actual mold, so it just goes together better. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some like cool new door options or something in there, some new decals added to it, and I don't know, just a new Land Raider which is just easier to assemble and put together. Same with the Rhino as well, and the Vindicator. I keep telling people that if they want to buy Rhinos and Vindicators, then buy the Horus Heresy variants because they go together better, and you can customize them more because you can get like customizable doors for them, which look absolutely fantastic. That's what I've been doing with mine. I've actually got a Horus Heresy Vindicator that I'm upgrading to a 40k Imperial Fist one, just because of the rule of cool. It looks better to go that road. But moving on from the actual tanks themselves, and we go to infantry, there's still a couple of weapon options that they haven't added as full weapon squads. Now, a lot of people think that maybe the direction is the direction Games Workshop's got to go is mixed weapon squads again, like the mixed tactical squad, where you have like a plasma cannon, las cannon with tacticals. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're sticking to their guns, and you got to have like a loadout, which we see in the Horus Heresy, where you have full bolters, full flamers, full las cannons as squads. I think that is the road they're going to go down, and staying on that road, I think they could add Neo Volkite. Neo Volkite has been a big thing now in 40k, and it won't surprise me if they do like a bigger Neo Volkite type of weapon squad, and to bring all the Dakar in. I think that would look really, really cool. One weapon that I absolutely love in Warhammer 40,000, which they've done twice, but on HQ characters, and that is grav weapons. So Targaridon has a grav gun on his Imperial Fist back, and the Tech Marine has a grav gun pistol, if you get that model. Now, I would love them to do, again, another heavy weapon squad. Maybe this could be like heavy intercessors, right? I'm not saying like redo it, but maybe a heavy intercessor squad that has like just grav weapons. It'd be really, really cool, right? These are the kind of things that I would love to see added to the range to bring a little bit more firepower and just a little bit more rule of cool to the Space Marine armor as well. And lastly, I've been saying this since 8th edition. Ever since I read about the Overlord, I would like a brand new Space Marine flyer. Yes, the flyers that we've got now, you can argue they're pretty cool. The Thunderhawks, the Stormbird, which I've got in the background there, which again has gone to Legends, sadly, at this point. I don't think you can even buy it anymore on the GW website. But I would like a new flyer. I'm not going to say Overlord, because the Overlord is just too big to bring to the tabletop if the description matches the book. But I don't know, maybe it's like a kind of Inceptor flyer or something like that. But I am convinced deep down inside that Games Workshop really want to move away from aircraft. Like every single edition since 8th edition, like aircraft have just gone down a little bit each single time. So maybe like the days of the aircraft are numbered, and eventually there just will be no aircraft in the game, and it's just going to be, foot troops and just armored vehicles, dreadnoughts, tanks and stuff like that. But as someone who likes flyers and stuff, hopefully we go down that road, and again we see some new type of Primaris interceptor. I don't think there's anything really else that we're missing. We've got full plasma squads, we've got Hellblasters, we've got Melter squads as the Eradicators, you've got Flamer squads in both Gravis and Intercessors. Yeah, is there anything really missing now from the Space Marines apart from some of the things that I've mentioned? Please let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll have a little chin waffle down there as we always do. I'm going to end the video here. Sorry, I've been rambling on for definitely more than 7 minutes. I'm doing overtime at the moment. But thank you for coming. Thank you for sitting here. Thank you for watching, listening, wherever you're around the world, doing what you're doing. Hopefully you have a great day, evening, night, and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya, and bye-bye.